to Latte's High Mountain Cooking. We're back in the kitchen here in Crestline on the mountain, in the San Bernardino Mountains at 5,000 feet. We're going to show you today some old southern cooking. This is the way my grandma used to make fried potatoes. We're going to make fried potatoes. We don't have any organic potatoes, but we got some potatoes from Idaho. And I'm not the hoe, you might be the hoe, but I'm not the hoe. So we're going to fry up some Idaho or Idaho potatoes. Either way. But before we get started, I'm going to show you something really cool. A little trick I learned while looking up kitchen tricks that you can do. And I'm going to show you, since we're frying potatoes today, how a straw can go into a potato. I don't know if you ever try to put a straw into a potato. There might be some good juice in there, I don't know. But if you try to just shove it in like that, as you can see, it doesn't really go in very good. But if you take the straw and in one quick motion really bang it in there, it goes right in. And that's our trick for today here on the mountain, on Latte's High Mountain Cooking. Okay, what we got here is we have some potatoes. This is about 4 or 5, maybe 6 potatoes that I've cut up, diced up into maybe 1/4-inch cubes, and peeled the skins off. And that's what we want right there, just about like that, diced up. And I've added my almanera, straight from the Middle East, olive oil that we're going to be cooking in today. Now my grandma probably would have cooked in Crisco, and the Crisco does have better flavor, but olive oil is good for you. It's better than eating Crisco, so today we're going to use almanera olive oil. And so I've added some to my iron skillet. It's almost an essential item for you to make fried potatoes, is an iron skillet. You need to go out and get you one of these. If you don't have one, thrift store's got one. You might get lucky if I one for a couple of dollars. But we've got some grease in here heating up, some olive oil. We're just going to add a little bit more, and you don't want too much because you don't want your potatoes to be sopping wet with oil when you get done frying them up. What we kind of want is no oil to be left whatsoever in the pan when the potatoes are done. And what I'm going to do, since this oil is heated up, you do want to let it heat up a while. You don't want to just throw the potatoes in the cold oil. And we've let it heat up on that's pretty high flame, but we'll shut it down here shortly. I'm going to just show you what it does when we put it in there. We'll put these potatoes in. Oh, hear that nice lovely sound? That's almost perfect temperature for our potatoes to go in there. And what we're going to do, the first most important thing with potatoes, just like white gravy, is you got to stir it constantly. And I'm going to show you how we go ahead and do that. You need a metal spatula for your iron skillet, and we're going to just stir them around a little bit, make sure they're evenly coating the bottom of the pan, like so. Another secret for making fried potatoes is you have to turn your flame down to about medium-low, which we're going to do right now. It goes about right. It's on a simmer, maybe just a tad above the simmer. And we're going to put our lid on. You've got to put a lid on. That way, the inside of the potato gets steamed, and we're going to do that for probably about 30 minutes. And we're going to come back every 2 or 3 minutes and stir these potatoes around, and you'll be able to see in the progression of the cooking of these potatoes. And we're going to take a short break, and when I come back, I'll show you what the potatoes are like at the first turn and what's going on subsequent stirrings of the potatoes.
My doctor suggested that I try medical marijuana. I thought he was crazy. I had heard for many years that marijuana was nothing but a drug. Kids and hippies would smoke it just to get high. But I had been dealing with a lot of pain, depression, anxiety, not sleeping at night, and I told my doctor about this. He prescribed me a series of pharmaceuticals, but none of those managed to help. The only hope I had left was medical marijuana. If you or a loved one are in the Inland Empire and you're suffering from a debilitating illness, please consider medical marijuana. It may just change your life.
Oh, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, our potatoes have been in the medium low heat for about 3 to 4 minutes now, and we're ready to turn them with our handy dandy metal spatula here. And you have to go ahead and what you really want to do is just flip them all over. Make sure none of them are stuck to the bottom of the pan, which we got enough grease this time. We're not going to have that problem. But you want to just turn them over. Okay? And just make sure they get all changed and flipped around and moved over. And then you're going to spread them out again in one nice even layer. And you're going to put your lid back on. Like I said, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes from the first time that we put the potatoes in till we turn them. And we'll come back again in about 3 or 4 minutes and turn them around. And then I'll show you a little later on in the process how these potatoes are going to come out. Now, it's going to take about 45 minutes for these potatoes to get done. But I tell you what, it's all going to be worth it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, you've been with us through the time that we have been stirring these potatoes very diligently over the last 45 minutes or so. And as you can see, the golden brown color of these potatoes is just about the way we like them. So we're ready to go ahead and take them out of the pan and try them out, see how good they are. Now I want you to notice a couple of things about the way that we stirred these potatoes. What we did with our oil and flame on this and putting the lid on is we steamed the potatoes on the inside so that they got really, really tender and started falling apart. And just as soon as they started falling apart and getting really, really tender, that's when the outside skin of these potatoes started to brown up and get a light crust on the outside. That's exactly what you want in a fried potato. It doesn't get any better than this, so grab your old Milwaukee and watch us take these potatoes up, and then we're going to have us a little sample. So I'll go ahead and start gathering them up now. And I'd like you to see how much grease is left in the pan. It's not very much, just a little tiny bit. That's about how you want it, folks. We did it just perfect. We got the right amount of oil in there. And as you can see, there's not very much left over. There is a little bit, so we're using a slotted spoon to collect our potatoes. And I'm telling you what, get a close-in shot of that. That's just some yummy, yummy potatoes there from the deep south. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. I'm telling you, my mouth's already watering to get these in there and have a taste. This is one of my favorite things in the whole world to cook. And once you learn how to master cooking these potatoes, it'll probably be one of your favorite things too. I'm very certain of that. So let's go ahead and have a bite of these yummy potatoes.